there and welcome to Mindful Musician. Here on this channel, we explore the strategies and tools that help us become more aware of our inner world as musicians and constantly evolve into the best version of ourselves. I'm Cosmin, guitarist, singer, professional educator, and martial artist from Bucharest, Romania, and I'm here today to tell you how you can become a better musician by potentially challenging some of your own beliefs about the world, how you interact with others, and yourself. Let's dive into the 12 presuppositions that constitute the foundation of neuro-linguistic programming and learn how they can alter our lives as human beings and musicians when playing, learning, or teaching. Number 1, people work perfectly according to their model of the world. Learn to respect that. We are all unique and experience the world in different ways. Everyone is unique and has their own special way of being. That means that in your dealings with others, a useful approach would be to embrace a state and attitude of pure curiosity. Ask questions, practice listening, and you will get tons out of this, instead of assuming things and ending up in situations where lack of communication and automatic judgment lead to unpleasant and unproductive outcomes. People are not broken, therefore they need no repair. They function perfectly even if the results are counterproductive or even harm them. All behavior has a structure, so when you change the method of action, you can change the outcome to something which is more desirable. Number 2, the map is not the territory. People respond to their map of reality, not to the reality itself. How people make sense of the world around them is through their senses and from their own personal experience. This means that each individual's perception of an event is different. Therefore, you yourself perceive reality in a way which is highly influenced and altered by your sense of identity, beliefs, values, habits, and environment. In order to enhance your map, start by paying attention to your thoughts and question what is true or false in a particular situation. You might discover that you have unconsciously drawn a map similar to the old medieval ones stating Hic sunt dracones, meaning here's where the dragons are, over territories that weren't explored or understood. Number 3, mind and body form a linked system. Your mental attitude affects your body and your health and, in turn, how you behave.
Just do it.
State influences behavior and behavior influences state. It's a circle which can be productive or not so much, in respect to how you choose to treat it. For instance, if you don't practice properly or enough, you might not be able to play your guitar as you wish. That will cause frustration and anger alongside the bodily sensation that accompany these states of mind. Practicing might seem hard and therefore you unconsciously skip it. Then when you want to play, up comes frustration, anger, and other unpleasant states. The more you skip practice or treat it superficially, the more frustration you experience for not being able to play. Practice is a behavior, frustration is an inner state, and this is how they influence each other. Number 4, flexibility is power. If what you are doing isn't working, do something else instead. Flexibility is the key to success, as they say, so if you notice that you have spent a considerable amount of time doing something, for instance trying to learn how to play a solo on your guitar in a specific way and haven't achieved satisfying enough results, change the way you do it. The person or element with the most flexibility in his system will have the most influence. The more mind flexibility a person has, they will open up to more options. Therefore, the ability to change themselves and influence others will be bigger. More flexibility means being more open-minded and trying new things that can lead you to the results you want. Ask yourself these questions. What were the steps I followed up to this point, and what can I change to get closer to what I want? Number 5. People always make the best choice for them at any given time. Every behavior, whether it's evil, weird, or crazy, is the best choice for a specific person in that moment. If given a better choice, which fits their model of the world, mind you, they would make use of it. You can add choices to change a person's behavior. When you take away choices, other compensating behaviors can occur. Having options can provide more opportunities for achieving results. This is why learning continuously will always keep you on top of your game. For instance, a lot of people ask me why they should learn music theory. You can watch my video on this topic right here. The short answer is you will develop choices. When you understand how something works, music in this case, you will know how to use it in order to express yourself or learn something that others have created. It's just like grammar for a foreign language. You will be a far better reader, speaker, writer, and communicator altogether if you know how to use grammar and have a vast vocabulary in any foreign language. Thus, learning constantly will expand your model of the world. Number 6, we are always, but always communicating. Even when we remain silent, we are communicating. Nonverbal communication can account for a large proportion of a message, and it usually does so. This is useful when you are either teaching or working within a group. So learning how to become a fine communicator can take you a long way, and the first thing one needs to train in order to become better is awareness on the senses. When you're in a conversation, consciously move your attention towards what it is you're seeing, feeling, and hearing from the other person. You might be talking to yourself in that time. Put your voice or those voices on hold and focus on what you see, hear, and feel. Ask questions. Wait before you speak. Be curious, genuinely curious. I cannot state this enough. Ask questions instead of assuming you know or understand. People will want to talk to you and you will find out what their reality looks, feels, and sounds like. That is valuable information in any interaction. Number 7, the meaning of your communication is the response you get. While your intention may be clear to you, it's the other person's interpretation and response that reflects your effectiveness. In an ideal world, you would practice and hone skills and enough flexibility to ensure that the message you send equals the message they receive. On the opposite spectrum, just like a bad transmission, sometimes the way we communicate is misinterpreted. The easiest way to achieve that is usually trying to convey a complex message via WhatsApp, for instance. When teaching or communicating to your group members, pay attention to your body posture, your gestures, tone of voice, volume, rhythm of speech, and then to your words. See what response you get and adjust the aforementioned elements accordingly until the response you receive matches your intention. Number 8, there is no failure, only feedback. What seemed like failure can be thought of as a success that just stopped too soon. With this understanding, we can stop blaming ourselves and others, find solutions, and improve the quality of what we do. This, in my opinion, is one of the most important mindsets one could ever develop. Most kids I work with, when faced with playing something on the guitar, try a couple of times and start complaining that it's impossible and they will never be able to make it happen. Resilience is the game changer here, and if you find yourself whining about something or your students are in the situation, you might ask these questions. How much time have I dedicated to this particular activity? How have I used that time? What worked? What hasn't? What could I change to make it better? How will I know I am making progress? Number 9, behind every behavior there is a positive intention. When we understand that other people have some positive intention in what they say and do, however annoying and negative it may seem to us, it can be easier to stop getting angry and start to move forward. I will use the aforementioned example to expand on this topic as well, since it ties in nicely. So whenever people avoid practicing, it is because it is hard for them to put in such a large amount of attention and effort for what seems to be an extended period of time. Therefore, it is your job as a teacher, coach, or mentor to find ways to help them make this process bearable and later on enjoyable. Is it easy? No, it's not. But it's one of those things that make a great teacher great. First and foremost, ask questions to understand. What is it that they do instead of practicing? What is it that they get when they do that? How do they practice when they do? How does practicing feel to them? How can they practice in such a way in which they get to keep the good inner state that they get when doing something other than practicing? And that, my friends, is how you work with the positive intention. Number 10, if one person can do it, you can learn how to do it too. Anything can be accomplished if the task is broken down into small enough steps. This assumption is simple. If any one person in the world producing a certain result, you also with the same thinking patterns, such as beliefs and values, information and set of actions or behaviors can learn how to do it and produce a similar result. Achievement becomes easier if activities are manageable. As a teacher and also as a student, you need to learn how to analyze what needs to be done and find ways to be both efficient and effective. And to further expand on the previous topic, for instance, many people rush head-on into a song or a solo, and they try to play it fast and get bummed in 5 minutes. because it's too hard, it's so fast, I don't understand it. So instead, come up with an easy, actionable, step-by-step process to help them or yourself play it. This process might look something like this. Look at your solo and identify the first phrase. Listen to it at least 10-15 times over until you can either remember it or, better yet, sing it. Learn the positions and technique that your left hand needs to execute. Learn what the right hand techniques are. Check if you're efficient with both hands. For example, are you moving more than necessary? Check if both hands are in sync. Check if you're clean. Check if the note and break durations are accurate. Play it as slow as it's comfortable for you without too much attention to the rhythm. Once you can do this, try to play the part over a recording that has a tempo that is slow enough for you to be comfortable with. Once you can play it clean, accurate, rhythmic, relaxed, and expressive, raise the tempo gradually until you reach the target tempo. Record yourself in a video and watch. If what you see and hear is to your liking, you can move on to the next part. If otherwise, ask yourself, what exactly is it that you do not like and how will you continue to work on it in order to nail it? Furthermore, you can always resort to asking, what's the smallest step that would feel easy enough for me to do? What would be the second step? By asking these questions, you let people show you how to design a process which is manageable by them at their current level. In time, your job is to help them refine it until it becomes efficient and effective enough to get them where they want with the minimum required level of effort and the maximum level of results. Of course, this is valid for you as well. Think about situations in which breaking down a process in such ways would change your results for the better. What would be the first step? Number 11. The person and the behavior are separate. When you were a baby, you probably cried a lot. So I'm asking you, does this mean you're a crybaby now? I say, no, you're not. We're not our behaviors, and that means you can change your behavior if you want to. We have the tendency to confuse identity with behavior. Sometimes that leads to good results. For instance, when you think or say, I'm a guitarist, you might also embrace the behaviors that come with this identity. Practicing your instrument, writing new songs, performing in live concerts, and so on. But when you think of yourself in terms such as, I'm a drinker, all those behaviors will sustain your identity even if they do so unconsciously. So pay attention to who you think you are. You can have more identities: a son, a father, a brother, a guitarist, a teacher, an athlete, a learner. See what habits and behaviors come along with all of your identities. What do you want to keep and what would you like to change? Number 12. People have all the resources they need. As a teacher and member of any group, I cannot overstate how absolutely priceless this belief is. If you adopt it, it will empower you to empower others. Now, what I mean by resources is the internal responses and behaviors we need to get the desired response. Different people have different dreams, and people have all the resources they need to achieve their goals and desired results. This does not mean they will succeed, but they have the needed potential to do so. Success is determined by action taken, so when you teach, remember to look at the person in front of you as being full of resources they don't yet know how to access and use. Your job is to teach them how to do it. If you are the one who's being taught, look for a teacher who constantly shows you how to improve based on your personal resources and praises you for doing it. I hope you enjoyed this video, so if you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell for more valuable insights and practices in other videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.